Hey Rich, I wanted to do a response video to your Insecurity and the Real, I think was the name of it. You are so much like I was when I was 22. It's kind of scary, although I think my mustache was a little thicker. I don't know. I had a lot of insecurities. I still do, actually, being 42. But in college, I guess I was just sort of kind of going through the motions of going to college and doing all that. I had a good time. I had some friends. I was getting a degree in painting and drawing, and which is my passion, but never really thinking about the real life application of that. I don't know. I was focused in that, but at the same time, I was sort of in denial about the future. I was also very sensitive to what people said about me. I'm very much of a people pleaser. I have this tendency to take care of people, and I'm very uncomfortable when people take care of me. I find that it's just offsetting to me when people do things for me because growing up, I certainly didn't have that. I ended up being the person to sort of a people pleaser because I thought, particularly in my family, that would maybe equal more love. I don't know. It didn't. I really didn't plan this video out. I just turned the camera on, so bear with me on sort of stumbling. But I just, when I watched your video, I really was kind of struck on how similar we are. I think I still have a lot of those insecurities that you have now, but of course, adding 20 years changes things a little bit. I spent a lot of time growing up alone. I was drawing, and I had my friends, but when I was home on the weekends, I really didn't want to see anybody. I just wanted to kind of do my thing, and up in my room drawing, listening to records, whatever. I had a hard time sort of relating to kids my age because they seemed a lot more free and uninhibited, and I don't know, probably more age appropriate than I was. I had a tendency to overanalyze everything, and I think that sort of took the fun out of things to a certain degree. I did enjoy making people laugh. That was part of my sort of taking care of people. If I could make them laugh, then I was sort of deflecting any kind of reality into the situation. And I guess this brings me to the second part of your video where, you think YouTube isn't real. It isn't real in the sense that you and I, or anyone else that I know would sit across the table and have a cup of coffee or whatever and talk about what we're talking about. I think, I don't know how my life would have been had I had YouTube back in those days. I probably wouldn't be doing the videos that you're doing, and I'm impressed with that you can articulate the feelings that you have. YouTube can be cathartic in a way of sort of being a sounding board that people comment on, and I've made a lot of great friends on YouTube that I physically have never met, but I wouldn't say that my friendships are any less real than the people down the street, because we share the things that we would share if we were geographically close. We're just not. It's just a new way of interacting, and I still love to entertain and make people laugh, because I do have a hard time talking about my feelings, even now, and even when I vlog, I'm vlogging about just nonsensical, weird stuff that could be perceived as entertainment. I don't know. Occasionally I'll touch on something about growing up, but I've been impressed with you talking about your feelings, and I think, this is what you would do in a therapy session. You're just not talking to a therapist. You've got these people that, care about you, that care about you enough to watch your videos. So I think that's speaks volumes. It's just a new way of having friends. So I hope you don't stop doing YouTube, because I feel like I can understand what you're saying, because I feel like I went through that as well, that insecurity, and for whatever reason, having a hard time when someone's, even if they're sort of razzing you, of perceiving that as an insult. Any kind of criticism that I felt I was getting, whether it was real or not, was perceived by me as they don't like me, and I'm a failure. I would rather not do things so that there was no option to fail. And I missed out on a lot of things. I have a lot of regrets about the things that I didn't do when I was younger, and I think that's what most people in life, their regrets are what they didn't do. So for whatever reason, YouTube has been, for me, it's been very very helpful. It's brought me out of my shell more. I'm far more social than I used to be, and it's opened up a whole world. Some people I talk to every single day on the computer, which is more than I can say for people that I am geographically close to. And in some respects, because we don't have that being in the same room kind of thing, I think some of the barriers get dropped. We're all on the same footing in terms of who we are. I get a lot out of YouTube, and I hope that, somewhere down the line that you'll look back and say, you know what, that was a great experience. I think my problem growing up in my 20s was being too caught up in what other people thought of me. I had a fear of failure and a fear of success, because fear of success, the success part brought attention to me. So, it was this awful, awful place to be in life, feeling paralyzed, not knowing which direction to go into, and you just kind of go through the motions of, things. I'm going to tell you about this book. Not that this book changed everything for me, but the one thing this book taught me was maybe to not take life so seriously, that there can be beauty in the simplicity of things, and sort of accepting things as they are. And it's you may have seen the Tao of Pooh, and it's Taoism, but it's kind of through the Winnie the Pooh's perspective. The way he wrote it, it was just a good book. I like you, Rich. I think you make some good videos, and I certainly feel that connection of the angst that you're going through, because I feel like I went through that as well, and I completely relate to all the stuff. Not all the stuff. I guess I can't relate to all of it. Anyway, take care, and know that people out here do care about you.